Today I'm going to talk about what my ideas are to help you catch more fish. And the most important thing that I do when I go out fishing is planning and organisation. And that means when you figure where you're going to go, you want to make sure that you've got exactly what you need in the boat, or if you're land-based fishing, in your backpack or your tote pack. And I'm surrounded here by a whole heap of goodies, and what they are is actually Plano tackle boxes. And the reason I use Plano, I guess, is not because any other reason other than I find that they do the job for me and they actually are the best. The main reason why I use Plano, and not all Planos, only some particular Planos, simple reason. My tackle inside my tackle boxes doesn't get mixed up if you do this sort of stuff to it. Very, very important. And the main range of tackle boxes that I use is the Plano Guide series, and there's a couple of reasons for that. There's good size range, there's 4 in the range, there's a 3700 deep, 3700 standard, and then you've got a 3600 and a 3500 for terminal gear. The main reason why I did it, before I said your tackle, your items inside just don't get mixed up, but there's some other pretty important features too. They lock real tight. They're fully waterproof. They've got a good seal here. They've got good sealing across the whole range, so you can't get anything mixed up. Close them and you lock them. Don't worry about that. This is full of my jig heads. You can do that. And I know my jig heads are all going to be there. So what do I mean by being organised? Well, there's a few of my ideas about being organised. The first one, I'll just put these aside, is that some of my tackle boxes, I actually name what's in them. And that's not because I'm forgetful. It's because it's actually hard to know. So this tackle box, which has got my hook range for saltwater fishing in it, I know exactly what corresponds to what. So especially handy when you're fishing, you need to select what you need fast. Bites usually don't run all day. They can be peaks and troughs. Usually your peaks are short time periods and your troughs long periods between fish. So when you need to change gear, you want to be able to get exactly the right hook you want quickly and easily. And you saw what I did there. I got a range of whiting hooks. I got hooks for light game, for say kingfish. Got my snapper hooks in here. I got some general purpose beak hooks and stuff like that. So that's my reason there. That's my hook box. And snap it all up and no mix. Some other ideas here. I mentioned before, if I'm brim fishing and I'm using my jig heads, I know exactly what the jig head is. Now, 2 things here. Sometimes I just write on the top here in texter what's in size. Jig heads are really hard to actually find quickly exactly what you need. So I just have them in sizes, weights, sizes going across here. All I simply do with these, a bit rough and ready, but it works for me, just write exactly what it is in texter, and then I just put sticky tape on the top. Now this box here, that's been with me now, I reckon, for 5 years, and it's lasted, weather, water, whatever. I still know exactly what's inside. So let's see these, open him up, and you can work out all my jig heads, just exactly what I've got there. Pop it down there and you know what's inside. So be organised, catch more fish. Lastly, got some treble hooks in here, same sort of deal. I've labelled it. Some of the other options that I have here, I don't necessarily name them with my lures, but I'll just have a box of blades, box of hard bodies, whatever. Again, these boxes, they just don't mix up at all. So be organised. Label what you got if you need to know what's inside to use quickly, and move on from there. One other thing that I do use in the range is what they call their stowaways, and they come in a large stowaway and a medium stowaway. And what I do in here is if I'm going to go fishing somewhere, might go to Lake Eildon, maybe go to out on the bay, whatever. Actually named this one. So this was a show I was doing on the Yarra River, fishing for mulloway and bream. I just labelled it. And what I do in here is pre-rig, have everything that I need for a day's fishing for that style of fishing. So I'd have some swim baits that I'm going to use on mulloway. I've got some little secrets here, little squids that I'm going to use, right? And all pre-rigged and ready to go. So anything that I actually have in a zip top bag is pre-rigged and ready to go. Why is this different? Well, I've actually retrofitted it with different treble hooks. So that was something I was going to use. This one here, this will be some mulloway baits, all pre-rigged, ready to go, right? So I know if I go to my day bag that I've got in the boat, I can just go through it and grab exactly what I need. So have a look at those. I find that really good just for a sit down, think the night before or week before, plan what you're going to fish for, rig all your lures, rig all your gear, put everything that you need for the day in there and you're away and gone. A lot of the filming I do too, it's really useful to be organised. Again, this box here, what have I got in here? Obviously spinnerbaits. So it's a spinnerbait box that I put together. Love my spinnerbait fishing, going up to Eildon. Want to go and catch some cod, maybe some golden perch on spinnerbaits. I have everything ready to go. Pre-rig them. These spinnerbaits here, I think I've done in a previous how-to series, just showing you how to make a big suspending spinnerbait using a worm hook on the end and a stinger. So you just have everything in there ready to go. There's some, mainly my other lures all rigged, ready to go. I know they're all been checked previously. I don't have to muck around and see what I'm doing. And lastly, so that's your bigger stowaway boxes that I use for day fishing. And then just lastly and more recently, been playing around with these edge boxes. And they're really good too. They're just as good as these, probably a little bit better. They're probably a box that's only about 12 months old now. Again, fully waterproof, fully sealed. Nothing again moves in them. There's about, I don't know, 15 in the range. I've just got a couple here. And you can see, you can just organise your tackle really, your baits really neatly. And again, fully waterproof and nice, easy to see through. One thing I'd like that I worked out with them, I thought this was permanent on the lid, but it's actually not. It's removable. So the one-handed operation, and you can just rip that off for using it, and then you can see your baits. In here, there's an alternative spinnerbait box in there. It's great for organising all your spinnerbaits. Your skirts will hang nice and straight in it. They're not going to get messed up if you chuck them in this style of box. They're probably going to get mucked around and moved and bent and all the rest of it, so they hang nice and neatly in there. So there you have it. Most importantly, your stowaways, your guide series, great box, love them. I've been using them for ages now. I actually buy them wherever I can see them in a tackle store. I actually buy a couple because they're pretty hard to find at times, but they're a great box. Probably the best box I've used, because it's simply, if you do it right, even these small items, they just don't move. Just increases your fishing efficiency truckloads. And as I said, if you label them, you know where you are. So there you go, have a look at that. Just go from something as simple as your zip top bag in a larger day box, select all the lures that you want to fish that you might use for the day, get organised, catch more fish. Simple. See you on the water.